The temporary closing of the City Market's food store at 2 of its locations in New Providence and 2 permanent closures in Grand Bahama dealt a devastating blow to pockets of more than 200 displaced employees who reportedly are taking home very little on their paychecks. On Friday, executives of the popular food chain issued a release to not only announce a closure but to inform its staff complement at the South Beach and Seagrape stores that they must report to the Cable Beach and Harbor Bay locations due to infrastructural issues. But things have now turned from bad to worse. That according to Administrator for the Bahamas Commercial Stores Supermarkets Warehouse Workers Union, Rosalie McKenzie, who says those redeployed employees are now being asked to report to work on the 26th of September.
The update we received so far from those persons who were transferred from the South Beach store and the Seagrape store, we got an update from them and they're saying that they were told to, some of them were told to report back to work the 26th of September, where they will be working 3 days, and then they will have the next week off, and then come back the following week for 3 days. So as it stands, they're going to have 1 week off, work 3 days, and the next week off. So when you look at it, they'll be working a day and a half each week.
McKenzie says the morale of more than half of the employees is extremely low and all they want now is their monies in hand and to move on with their lives. McKenzie says based on the pay slips, employees are not taking home sufficient funds to feed their families.
Those workers are just so fed up, and as far as they're concerned, like they said already, they're not interested in working for the company anymore. They would like for Mr. Fenderson to just pay them out so that they can go ahead and seek other employment. Because some of the workers yesterday, we saw some of the members spaced up and they are getting like $2.20. Some of them got $1.54, and it's no way they can survive off paychecks like that. So they would like for Mr. Fenderson to pay them out so that they can go and seek employment elsewhere. And in my opinion, I think it's just a ploy to discourage the workers so that they can quit and they will not be able to get any sort of compensation.
Well, it is the most successful and popular support group for women fighting breast cancer. But this morning it was more about celebrating life, as during their annual prayer breakfast, this time commemorating 11 years of existence, hundreds came together to remind each other that love is the greatest source of support and healing. Our Julian Gibson was there.
Hundreds packed the Wyndham Ballroom this morning for the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group's prayer breakfast. Organizers say more and more women are stepping forward for early treatment.
It's most unfortunate because we find that we're having more of the younger women being diagnosed on a daily basis. And so those are the ones that we're more concerned about. We do have persons who are supporting us, and that is what this prayer breakfast is all about this morning, where persons come out to give us the support that we need. And we couldn't do it without them.
The idea is that when you have the problem, you have a place to go to get relief. If when you have received your relief, you can walk away, there is no ties on you. If you can now turn around and see where you can reach out to somebody else and help them, this organization allows you to do that. And that, I think, is the key to Sister.
Also in attendance was Minister of Health, Dr. Hubert Minnis. He encouraged the stakeholders to keep up the fight.
The government has provided medications for cancer, but that is just one arm. What you have provided, a preventative arm. You provided caring and love. That's the best form of care that can be offered in the medical society.
Now, in her keynote address, Reverend Elaine Johnson told those on hand, yes, medical help is always great, but if one was to turn to our spiritual leader, that spells an automatic long life.
If it had not been for God, you better grab something and wave it. If it had not been for God, it wasn't the politician, it wasn't your money, it wasn't Barry Christie, it wasn't even Ingram, that if it had not been for the Lord who was on your side, you don't know where you would be today.
Reporting for ZNS News, I am Julian Gibson.
Thank you, Julian. Well, we have an update on BEC works on Market Street tonight. The emergency road closure on Market Street from Wolf Road to Andrews Avenue put in place Friday to enable BEC to repair blown cables to in the vicinity of Father Calnan Lane will now continue to be in effect until at least Monday evening. So if you're planning on using that road, well, it's still closed until Monday evening.